So, this is an introductory class. Actually, the exam for which you are coming, it is a new kind of exam. You have never appeared in this exam. So there are some rules in this exam that should be known to you. There is a saying, if you want to play a game better, you should know rules of the game first. And I have seen in my 16 years of experience, people are exhausting all their attempts and they do not know the rules. So that is to be known in the very beginning. That will be first part of the discussion. Second part is, you are going to study a new subject. Have you ever studied this subject? Graduation, 10+2 standard, never. So this is a new subject. And every subject is taught in university for 5 years. And you have to learn it in a span of 4 months. So it is a challenge. So how we would deal with the subjects, how we should learn so that we can score at least 300 plus. So that will be discussed. And it should be discussed in the beginning. Every day in the class we cannot give passing reference that you should not do this, you should do this. In the beginning we should tell you, and you should keep it in mind that I have to do these things, I cannot do these things. Then your preparation will be properly channelized. Okay? See, this is an exam conducted by UPSC for the purpose of what? To make you a scholar in anthropology or to make you a scholar in other subjects. This exam has a clear-cut vision to find out future administrators. So what they will try to know from you, is it the knowledge of anthropology or is it the basic qualities of administration, whether they are present in the aspirants or not. So it's a small mistake, but most of the students make this mistake. They learn anthropology, they learn geography, but they forget to reflect basic qualities of administration through these subjects. See, these subjects have nothing to do with your service. See, once you are selected, tell me what you will do with this knowledge. If anything is required for anthropological work in the administration, why you will be called up? Because you have a knowledge of 5 months. So they will call upon anthropologist, not you, as you have opted for anthropology in optional, in UPSC. So literally it has nothing to do with your service. Then why UPSC is conducting various optional? GS. The objective of optional is to find out whether aspirants have the basic qualities of administration or not. The answer should reflect this. In university exam, the objective is to make you a scholar in anthropology, scholar in physics, chemistry. But here, that objective does not exist. To make you a broker, or to select a future broker. Now what they will see? Knowledge in anthropology, or through knowledge of anthropology, they will try to see whether you have these qualities of administration or not. So we reflect knowledge of anthropology, but we forget to reflect basic qualities of administration through anthropology, through geography, through history. Can you understand this simple objective? That we have to learn. So we have to learn two things. One is knowledge of anthropology. Second one is to reflect the basic qualities of administration through anthropology. So everybody in UPSC, those are preparing, they learn history, they learn physics, they learn anthropology, but most of us forget to reflect basic qualities of administration through these subjects. So unless and until you are doing it, your preparation is not complete. Just try to understand. If there is merit, accept it. If you do not accept, you will continue with the process of university preparation. In university, what is the approach? Write more and more. If you can write more, you will be given more marks. They give importance to version. Here, they are giving importance to quality. And that's why there will be limited number of pages for your answers. Even if you want to give weightage to quantity, you can't do that. So they are finding out man of substance for country's administration. So now the question is, what are the basic qualities of administration? देखो, sense of coordination. So these are the basic qualities. There may be other qualities, but without these qualities, no one can be an effective administrator. There may be other qualities, I am not denying, but these are the basics. And I have not written, you should be a great organizer. You should be a great coordinator. You must have sense of organization, sense of coordination. See, you are a student who has just passed out graduation and they are writing this exam. So you cannot expect that person to be a great organizer. But we can expect that person is having sense of organization, sense of coordination. That minimum is expected. So you have to reflect these qualities through your optionals. Now you may ask, what about GS? See, Kothari Commission has introduced optionals to UPSC exam. And he said a person must have basic qualities of administration. That should be identified through optional paper. And he introduced two optionals. Why? Because everybody learns a subject in his graduation, post-graduation. So naturally he develops some sense of organization in that subject. So whether he has quality or not, because of learning of a subject for 5 years or 3 years in any university, he can naturally show some sense of organization. So whether someone is really having sense of organization, that can be better understood if we introduce two optionals. Because he has to learn the optional, additional optional in his 1 year of span. You cannot spend 5 years for learning second optional and you can do great in UPSC exam. So you have to learn it at the most in a year. So if you have these qualities, you will be able to show. If you do not have, you cannot. So that is why two optionals were introduced. And recently, in 2013, when one optional was deleted, it goes against the very objective of the exam. That was not a good step. So this is the purpose of optional. What is the purpose of GS? See, a person who is going to be administrator in today's world, he must have some basic understanding of his country and what happenings in the world. So you should know history of your country, geographical conditions, economic situation. If you are not in touch with day-to-day's happening, what is happening in India, what is happening in the world, you cannot make good decisions. You may be backward. So that was the importance of general studies. Through general studies, UPSC doesn't try to know whether you have the basic qualities of administration or not. And if you look at the question papers, in general studies they focus on specific aspect. Questions will be very specific. But in optional, you see questions are open-ended. Write whatever you know and show this sense. In general studies, particular aspect of an affair will be asked. Very few questions will be open-ended. And standard of general studies in UPSC is 10 standard only. But in optional, the standard is 10 plus 2 plus 3. So you have to show these qualities in your answer. Now you can think how we can do it. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So how to show organization and why this quality is needed. See, when you will be selected as an administrator, what you are supposed to do? You have to organize various departments in your unit of administration. So if you do not have sense of that, how all of a sudden you can do that? How you can be trained? See, training can be given to those who have this sense. You cannot train everyone and make him or her a great organizer. You must have in your individual traits. So how we can do this? First of all, what is organization? See, organization, any organization consists of various parts. And these parts are well arranged. That is called organization. So when you are writing an answer, you see what are the main points of that answer. And then you arrange these points logically. If points are incomplete, organization will be incomplete. If points are not arranged properly, organization will not work. See, human body is an organization, biological organization. See, it has several parts, and these parts are properly placed. So you know the parts, but you can't arrange these parts. That means you're lacking in organization. For example, if you are putting hands in the place of legs, will that person work? So similarly, every point has its own place, and you have to put that parts in its own place. So देखो, when you are writing any question, it has points, major points. You write all the points, and you write all the points in their proper arrangement. If you can do this, you are able to show this quality. Then, sense of coordination. See, DM in a district or chief secretary in a state don't do anything on their own. They get things done. You know, the simplest definition of administration is getting things done. For getting things done, you have to coordinate among the various parts in your administrative units. So how it can be shown? If you have got your copies evaluated by some teachers, frequently they refer to flow. There is lack of flow. Flow shows sense of coordination. So while you are writing, every sentence in a paragraph should be linked. Every paragraph should be linked. And when you read from the beginning to the last, there is a continuous thread. Can you do this? That means you are showing sense of coordination. And if it is missing, you won't have any interest to read that answer. There will be stumbling block after few sentences. तो ये आपको करना है. Then come communication. See, without communication, even a family cannot work. There should be simple, straightforward communication with clarity. See, as an administrator, you have to receive informations from your instruction from your senior. You have to pass on instruction to your juniors. If you can't clearly pass the information, how your juniors can get done? Tell me. If he misunderstands you, can he work for you? Or if you misunderstand your senior's instruction, can you work for them? So you can say communication is key to run administration better. So while you are writing, you write with clarity. There should be proper expression. And write in such a manner that even a layman can understand you. Don't write in a flowery manner, because others may not understand you. If you are not able to understood by others, how they can work for you? सोच के देखो. So if you are unable to show these qualities, that means you cannot work in any organization. You won't be understood. You may not understand others. How you can work? And I have experienced UPSC gives lots of importance to this one. Communication skill. They give importance at the level of mains as well as at the levels of interview. Communication skill is very important in day-to-day life. If you have better communication, you have a better life. Even you can become a prime minister. हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर करता ही क्या है, बोलता है अच्छा. And really it is impressive, his communication skill. And all the great leaders have great communication skill. You know, Winston Churchill was a great orator and communicator. You have nothing, but if you can communicate properly, you can gain a lot of things. So, that must be shown. And you have to learn it, how to make simple, straightforward communication. It is not easy, but if you are determined, you can easily develop. Then come decision making. See, in everyday life, we make lots of decisions. Small decisions, some are major decisions. Think, while you are administrators, every day you have to make hundreds of decisions. And these decisions have implications on people. A wrong decision can harm thousands. A right decision can benefit lakhs. And you know, there are many persons who are knowledgeable but can't make proper decision. So you have to learn how to make good decision. It is shown through conclusive writing. See, while you are writing a paragraph, it should be conclusive. Even while you are writing a sentence, that sentence should be conclusive. So we are not only to write conclusion at the end, we have to write conclusively every paragraph. Even, you know, most of the students do not write conclusion even at the end. They believe, what is the use of conclusion? The conclusion shows your decision-making ability. So you are thinking, you are writing, but there is no formal ending. Suppose you are in conversation with your friend, and all of a sudden you leave your friend. How your friend will evaluate you? He will say, he doesn't speak properly. He doesn't end the discussion. So while you are writing any answer, you are in conversation with examiner. And if you end your answer all of a sudden, he will also think like your friend, that what a person is, he doesn't end formally. If you consider from that point of view, so do you believe that writing without conclusion should be accepted by anyone or by university, UPSC? But in university, if you write without conclusion, that doesn't matter. So we have learned that way of presentation in university. Writing without introduction, writing without conclusion. But you have to write all these things here. If you think I will manage the way we have done in university, that will not work here. नहीं करेगा काम. And if you want to crack this exam, you have to learn it. So, set off your earlier beliefs and approach. And learn this approach. Even if you are showing these qualities in university exam, you will be rewarded with good marks. I had a girl student from Jijabai University in Gwalior. She got 60% around in zoology. Then she came here for UPSC preparation. And while she was taking coaching here, she was preparing for MSc also. So she used this approach in her MSc exam. And you know, she got 78% marks in zoology. And it was the record marks in that university by that time. So if you use this approach even in university exam, definitely they will reward you. So it has universal acceptance. Not only in UPSC. If you are writing in this manner, you can present your facts anywhere and you will be positively appreciated. And see all the great writings have this quality. So whenever you are writing any question in optional, you start with introduction. You have to write structured body. Body should be organized or structured. And you insert your answer with a conclusion. You must do this at least in optional. In GS, that pattern may not be required because some questions are asked in such a manner they don't require introduction. But I think in every question you must give conclusion in GS. But in optional, for 10 markers, 15 markers, for 20 markers, everywhere you have to give introduction with structured body and conclusion. Now, for 10 marks, it should be a concise introduction, concise conclusion. If it is 20 marker, you can elaborate little. So, length of the introduction, length of conclusion determined by marks of a question. But you have to write. So, do this in any optional. You can score 300 plus. Provided you have memorized facts, you have revised facts. And memorization doesn't mean that memorizing word after word, sentence after sentence. Even we have to memorize concept. If you do not memorize, you will forget. So memorize and write in your own sentence. Never memorize others' language. That will be a suicidal approach. And you know why people do not get sleep on the eve of exam night? Because they memorize others' language also. If they forget a sentence, they will forget whole answer. That's why they are frightened. If I forget some lines. So don't do this. Considering the length of the syllabus, in GS, in optional, you can memorize every word, every sentence. You have to use your own language. So, if you are memorizing facts, concepts, revising 5-6 times, writing 100-150 questions, which one can do in a year. Under any circumstances, if you are approaching writing with this approach, you will be never disappointed. We do not write according to UPSC. We just write for the sake of writing. And usually we follow the approach of university. So we have to learn. And I think consistent practice of following this approach definitely help you improve your writing. And in UPSC, people believe that I don't have writing skill. बहुत लोग सोचते हैं जो I don't have writing skill. The writing skill is different. If you are writing a story book, that writing skill will be different. If you are writing a poem, that writing skill will be different. So while you are writing in UPSC, this is the writing skill. Don't use flowery language. Don't write haphazardly. Don't write without flow. In my experience, I have seen if you are writing, there are 3 F's. It is a perfect writing in UPSC. What are the 3 F's? First F is facts. Second F is framing. Or structuring. Third F is flow. If these three F's are present in GS, present in optional, you will not only crack this exam, you will crack this exam with topmost rank. Don't think toppers are genius. They are writing according to UPSC and they do memorization revision timely. They study regularly. So if you are studying 3 months before exam, 15 hours a day, you will definitely fail this exam. But if you are studying 7 to 8 years a day for the whole year, you can study more and you can have more chances to crack this exam. So my suggestion, study regularly. Then work hard smartly. And if you have reliable guidance, definitely both these two things will work. So don't study only 3 months, which is again an approach of university. In 3 months, if you study 15 hours a day, which is not productive, 15 into 90, कितना हो रहा है ना? But if you are studying 15 hours a day, your productivity will be of 8 hours only. And you will just sit in the chair doing nothing. So literally, this model is not conducive for exam like UPSC. If you are studying 300 days, 65 days minus 8 hours. $2,400 hours. So in terms of number of hours, it is more here, just double. And when you are studying 8 hours a day, each minute of an hour will be productive. And moreover, when you are free, not sitting in a chair for learning, your mind is in the process. It processes what you have learned. So unless and until your learning is internalized, you cannot reproduce. So regular study is more beneficial than periodical study. In university, what you have done? Periodical. And you have got 80%, 60% marks. But here in UPSC, if you are periodical in your study, even you can't complete the syllabus. See the extent of the syllabus. GS, optional, essay. Can you do all these things in 1300 hours? And then where is the time for revision? So most of the students go to the exam hall without revision, without writing in advance. They write first time in the exam hall. Now tell me, when you are supposed to write 19 questions in a span of 3 hours, and that too in an organized manner, can you do it in the exam hall itself? So students are not giving importance to test series, which develops your writing skill in UPSC. They take coaching ritually. If they qualify prelims, they do not practice before the exam. I think most of the students practice in the exam hall itself. So that is not the place for practice. That is the place for finals. So this model will never work. this model. So it has better chance. And it is feasible also. See, you are completely dedicating to the cause of UPSC exam. You are not working. So can't you study 8 hours a day? 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours at night, 2 hours in the afternoon. And all remaining hours you can take leisure, you can gossip your friends. These are also needed. Don't think gossiping makes you unproductive. Leisure, relaxation never makes someone unproductive. That is part of human life. So in this model, you can do everything. Yet you can qualify this exam. So there will be no pressure. You will be relaxed throughout the year, before exam night. So with this model and approach, you have better chances to succeed this exam. And we have to learn it. Don't think before exam I will develop it. If you consistently practice, definitely you will improve. So in our class, we will focus more on presentation. Because anthropology is not a subject which you cannot understand. You can easily understand, and I follow simplified method. And with that, anybody can learn the subject. But the most challenging part is presentation of the facts. See, unless and until you are able to present your facts properly, you are doing nothing for this exam. So we are preparing for mains. Hai? Here you are not supposed to darken the circle. Kala kala nahi karna. Likhna hota hai. So what most of the students do, they learn a topic, they retain somehow, they understand, and they think their preparation is over. See, next step is presentation. See, if you do not know what you have learned, what you have understood as how to present, what is the use of that? That approach may help in prelims. Prelims में क्या करना होता है? गोला गोला करना होता है. So if you have facts and understanding of facts, you can make gola. But here in optional, not only presentation of facts, you have to present facts within 3 hours. That is another challenge. How to present all these things in 7 minutes, 12 minutes, and at the end in 3 hours. So we are not only to present facts, we have to present facts within the limitation of time, within the limitation of word. वो भी एक challenge है. So if you write something in 1,000 words, will it work? You cannot even complete half of the question. तो कैसे होगा? So we have to write and present our facts within the constraint of time and words. That should be learned also. So don't think these are difficult tasks. People are doing, you can also do. First of all, you should know how to do. Then practice. And in the class, I give assignment every day. And I evaluate assignment in the class for offline students. For online students, they send their answer through WhatsApp. Then I check it at home. So it will be delayed. But in the offline, I will do it in the same class. And you have to write your assignment. I have seen people are not writing. Before taking coaching, don't mind. They will ask all the questions. Will you give us assignment? Will you take test other than test series? And what I have seen, if they do 10% of the questions what they have asked to me, they will become IAS officer. और ऑफलाइन तो मेरे प्रेशर से कर भी लेता लोग. ऑनलाइन में करता ही नहीं, दे आर फ्री. सो डोंट be compelled that I have to write for the sake of share. So you are not writing for me, you are writing for yourself. ठीक है? So this is the approach of this exam. And never forget this approach when you are learning optional. Always keep on thinking how to develop this approach, how to implement this approach. So from today onwards, it is your mantra. Keep it in mind, and whenever you are presenting anything, follow this approach. Even in GS, you are doing it, you can score more than others. I had a student, he was working in BSNL as assistant engineer, and he was posted in Ambala. So he could not take coaching for GS because it is long process for 10 months. So he came to me for anthropology. He realized that I had less information because I did not take coaching for GS. So how to score more even without having much facts and knowledge? He said to me that I thought that your way of presentations will help me. So before writing every question, he has made a structure. Then he has written. And I will show you how to make structure of your answer. So for every question, he has made frame before writing. Then he has written. Now he got 500 plus marks in GS. Usually people are not getting 500 marks. क्या बोलते हो? It is 450, 470. Without coaching. He told me, sir, even in GS, marks are not given because of facts. Because of facts and organization both. And with this marks in GS, he got IRS. Without any coaching in GS, he has neither joined any regular class or test series. He just followed the approach of presentation, what he has learned from anthropology. The structuring of facts needed everywhere. Flow of writing required everywhere. Do you think it will be rejected in GS? कोई नहीं सकता. So, if you are religiously following this approach, you can improve in GS also, you can improve in essay also. And I think those are giving coaching for mains exam, their focus should be on presentation, not for giving only theoretical information. See, I think anyone can understand any topic in anthropology on their own, except few topics in physical anthropology. But for everyone, presentation of facts in anthropology or other optional is challenging. I think for that you are coming to coaching institute. If coaching institute is not doing that part, they are doing nothing for you. तो खुद ही कर सकता है.